Life will test you, and I will tell you how to pass the test in this video. Hello everybody, I am Crypto Billy with Billy Go Tales. You're watching Motivational Mindset. On your drive to work, we try to give you a little tidbit of information, get you thinking about the day in a positive way. Let's get into it. Life will test you. You need to pass the test. Whether you believe it's evil, the devil, or just life itself, happen circumstance, coincidence, life is going to test you. You're going to be challenged in all facets and all areas of your life. If you're married, you will be tested. You'll be tested by the next prettiest woman that comes in that you have some sort of attraction to, but you're married and you have 2 kids. You will be tested at your job where you didn't get a promotion and the other guy did, and you feel like you're better than he is at your job. You will be tested among your peers. You will be tested in all shapes, sizes, and forms that you could possibly think about, and you have to pass the test. What's the first thing you need to do to pass the test? You have to have character. You have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for. You have to know when to control your emotions. You have to know when to say something and when not to say something. You have to know when to stand up for what you feel is right. And you have to know when to sit on your hands. I remember when I was elected to the board of directors for the Home Building Association. Now, I've been very involved in the Home Builders Association, but I had never been on the board of directors. It was my first year. Wisdom, because I practiced these things that I'm teaching, wisdom taught me that even though I knew a lot of the people on the board, I had relationships with them, I also understood my station at the time. My station at the time was I was a brand new board member. Even though I was armed with a lot of wisdom, inner workings, I also understood my station, and my station was that I'm new. And the first board meeting, there was topics brought up that I wanted to have my opinion on. But I also realized that it was not the right time. In other words, I had patience. I had wisdom. I knew not to boldly go in there and say, I think this is what we need to do. Here's my thoughts on this. Blah, 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 blah. Charging in, unchecked, unbalanced. I also knew that I could talk to the people outside the boardroom later on. And later I also knew that I could talk to people before the board meeting to make sure they understood my thoughts on the agenda for the day. That day was not the day to show my feathers. What is that called? That's called humility. That's called wisdom. That's called understanding your station. That's called working with others. You have to know this, and you get better and better at it when you do it over and over and over again. Life throws you all kinds of challenges. You have to appreciate them and know that they're happening for you and not to you. If you change your paradigm and look at challenges, life challenges, as opportunities, it's so much easier to get through those. They're opportunities. You always have choices even when you can't see them. And what we're trying to teach you is to see that you always have choices. Because when your brain feels that you have choices and it's not being forced upon you, you're going to be much happier, much more content, and have the power and influence and leverage that you need to get through the negotiation. In those moments where you're being challenged, there's one thing that's going to separate you from everybody else. That's doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That's character. You're going to be challenged, and you have to make the right choice. And the more you make the right choice, the easier it gets. It's like anything else. The more you do it, the easier it gets for you. In those moments when only you know the truth, you have to be honorable. You have to be honorable. I can tell you personally many situations where evil, coincidence, the devil, whatever you want to call it, was challenging me. And every time I took the high road. And that creates karma. That creates goodwill. That creates positivity. The universe sees that. God sees that. However you want to view it. Positivity, particles go into the universe because of those choices. And guess what? You end up winning. It does matter when you're alone and you make those choices. All the wise books, all the books of wisdom, all the sacred texts, they tell you the same thing. They tell us what we need to do. We just don't listen. We need to listen. Character is the key. Doing the right thing when nobody's looking. That's what's going to save you and help you. Okay, guys, that's it for Billy Goat Tales. Crypto Billy out.